All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Monster, episode 37. Okay.
Johan is in Tenma's sights.
Yep.
Tenma might be in Johan's sights.
Schuold has sent Carl away.
We don't know exactly why. We got that Schuold basically thinks of Johan a bit like himself, you know?
Yeah, he has been given a lot of characterization that was new to kind of show the similarities there. And it's something that might mean that he is planning something with Johan. And
we don't know.
This whole thing might be just about to go up in flames, basically.
Yeah, that will probably happen. And then the question is how.
Or, like, who's surviving and who's not.
Right. I think Tenma might survive.
You think?
I think there's a decent likelihood of that happening. You know?
SOS Bros predicts the main character going to not die 40 episodes or something before the ending.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 theory. Hey, he's probably not wrong. I mean, like, how could he be? That's me.
And Johan probably is also going to live, I think. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, man, it's just crazy. Everything's just converging, happening. And now everything's starting to be like the rug's starting to be pulled out from under us as things are converging. So we don't know
all
actually
the players are coming together.
Like, what is going to be the result of all this?
We don't. So should we watch it and find out?
Yeah, I'm worried, but let's get into this, guys.
昔々あるところに名前のない怪物がいました。怪物は名前が欲しくて仕方ありませんでした。でも世界は広いので、怪物は2つに分かれて旅に出ました。怪物は村を見つけました。村の入り口には鍛冶屋がいました。名前をくれたらお礼におじさんの中に入って力を強くしてあげるよ。本当か？力が強くなるなら名前をあげよう。
Dang. Oh, what the heck?
鍛冶屋の中に入っていきました。鍛冶屋のオットーは村一番の力持ち。でもある日、僕を見て僕の中の怪物がこんなに大きくなってバリバリぐしゃぐしゃバキバキゴクン。お腹の空いた怪物はオットーを中から食べてしまいました。ツヤのハンスの中に入ってもバリバリぐしゃぐしゃバキバキゴクン。
Alright.
Holy
名
crap.
前のない怪物に逆戻り。怪物はお城の中に素敵な名前を探しに行きました。お城の中には病気の男の子がいました。君の名前を僕にくれたら強くしてあげるよ。男の子の中に入っていきました。男の子はとても元気になりました。王様は大喜び。お腹がペコペコでも我慢しました。でもあまりお腹が空いてしまったので、男の子は王様もケーキを食べてしまいました。
Jeez.
バリバリぐしゃぐしゃバキバキゴクン。誰もいなくなってしまったので、男の子は旅に出ました。何日も歩き続けて、ある日男の子は見知った怪物に出会いました。名前なんていらないわ。名前なんてなくても幸せよ。私たちは名前のない怪物ですもの。男の子は西へ行った怪物を食べてしまいました。それを呼んでくれる人はいなくなりました。ヨハン、素敵な名前なのに。
Wow. That's
That's an opening to an episode. Holy crap. Okay.
誰かに読んで
Oh boy.
あんなに嫌な気持ちに
Because it's a freaking messed up book, yeah.
ファーレンっていう学生の自殺、シューバルトに雇われていた探偵の転落死、
Yeah.
マルゴット・ランガーと名乗っていた売春婦も撃たれて死んだ。最近あったいろんな変なことがまるで一つの塊みたいになんで私にのしかかってくるわけ何から何までヨハンに結びついちゃうような気がするのはなんでよ。
あなたの友達のヨハンは彼は今どこに
Take the dang shot. I mean, I know you're not going to, but come on.
What if he does?
Okay, if he did, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, this is what he kind of needs almost because he won't be able to do it without thinking about how many people he couldn't save because of
remembering why he's doing this.
Right. Oh, I have chills right now. Oh my gosh.
Then Johan's gonna turn and look.
He's just gonna move.
Yep. And fire! Pull the trigger! Pull the... Do it! Oh,
Roberto. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Freaking called it. Yep.
Oh, and Roberto's gonna use it to shoot Shuold. Wow.
Oh my god.
Then they're cutting away. Wait. No way.
Wow.
本当に大勢集まって盛況だことね。
Stepping into the light.
Because he's gonna be the one to push him up to the... Alright!
Gosh, oh my god.
Wow!
This is so tense.
Okay!
Wow. Everything in me is clenched so tight. I just like...
あなたのために大勢がうようよと。
What, he's after them? Just all the people gathered?
Well, the influence that this meeting will have, just everything here. Oh, with the background soundtrack.
Yeah,
oh
the
my
music
gosh.
is so amazing.
そうだったのか。なんということ。
声を出すな。おとなしく見てろ。いいな。
みんな私の話を聞いてほしい。落ち着いて冷静に
Oh my
行動してほし
gosh.
い。一度に動いてはいけない。
そうだ。そうやっておとなしくして
Oh.
一列ずつゆっくりとここから逃げるんだ。
Johan's literally like putting a signal down, like... Holy crap.
Wow.
Holy crap. Oh, jeez. Oh, crap. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh, he didn't know. Oh. Oh.
そうか、気が変わったんだね、ヨハン。
Whoa.
この方がいい、ずっといいよ。
Yeah, get your freaking pistol, Tenma, and shoot Roberto.
見てみろよ、お前も。
Fire! Freaking fire!
Holy crap, guys. This is...
本が燃えてしまう。
逃げ惑っています。誰もが我先にと折り重なるように伝わりますか、この恐怖が。
Wow.
お前には無理だよ。
Whoa.
Come on!
お前には撃てない。お前には命を与えることしかでき
Oh.
ない。命を奪うのは俺の仕事だ。
Wow.
お前にはできない。
One shot.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
This is like part one of just the library burning.
Right. Yeah.
Mini conclusion arc of sorts. Because,
Right.
okay, we had so much actually, like, get, I would say... I
put
would
off
say
almost?
I would say put off, but also a lot of things revealed with the story and kind of the way Johan and Schuld interacted, and
yes.
with specific things like theories that are now dead. Schuld was not involved in this.
Right.
Schuld had the idea of what was going on, but he couldn't understand why maybe Johan was doing it.
Yeah, and how exactly.
And how, and what his overall goal was. So I think if anything, Schuld might have been trying to protect
the people. Oh yeah,
not the people now in this case, because that was when he understood and he was like, everyone, please,
single file,
get out of here. But once he realized what was going on, actually, hold on. Before I do that, let's go back to the book, the children's book.
Yeah.
So the
Creepy book.
The book is creepy as hell. It's so freaky.
But the fact that it actually has Johan's name in there at the end, that means that was probably where Johan,
this is Johan's identity.
Right. This is Johan's identity. And it was probably something that was very much put on, not like a happenstance thing of he read this book and it has the same name. It was probably that, like he said, you think Johan is my real name. Like, that was something where once he read that book, he's like, oh, Johan, I like that.
Right.
That's a nice ring to it.
I think it's just another mystery as to his true origins. But the main thing that we have connecting it is that Nina remembers kind of, or at least feels like that this book was read to her at
probably
some point.
By Johan.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing that I find that's kind of interesting that connects this to the present, is that there are people that wish to imbibe the monster in order to gain strength.
Yeah.
I think that this is what Johan did with Schuld. Is that Schuld, he presented himself as like, this is who I am, this is what I offer to you, and if you would like to utilize me, this is what you'll need to do.
And Schuld kind of recognized, he's like, well, Johan's too perfect, when Requiem talked to him. So he knew that something was up.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can do that, because then maybe, I can find some way to reinvigorate my businesses, and we'll find some way to do what my goals are.
And before Carl came along, he had probably kind of given up. Like, he was like, if it's someone like Johan, that's fine. Another like-minded individual I can pass things off to. Sure, Right. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of like what Roberto is too. Because, he's fallen after Johan. And even like the thing with, the fact that Roberto's wife was there makes it seem like... But Roberto didn't seem to know because he didn't know about the burning plan, so... It almost seemed like Johan was setting up something that could potentially, theoretically, end in Roberto's death, too.
Roberto, and all ties to this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's basically like, Johann is trying to set up the perfect just getaway.
Yep.
So if he becomes this well known and dies in the fire, so to speak,
Sure.
believed to have died,
Yeah.
then he could truly become no one.
Yep.
And maybe he'll have access to resources after this that he'll, have that will give him even more capacity to go farther than he was able to go previously with just Shuold. Oh man!
All right.
The book. Okay, the book is about two monsters. Now, here's the thing: it was originally one.
Right. That could be a connection to the whole idea of the twins. Johann and Nina, because that's how twins are made. I mean, well, actually, I'm not sure because they're not identical twins. So, okay, I'm not sure. But point is,
the point is there's a connection there. There's also the bit of where East and West Germany, East Germany, came from different areas and stuff like this.
The whole idea of traveling a long distance, after he'd found his name of Johann.
The thing about this book, though. This book kind of calls back to kind of how they've referenced things like in the Bible or referenced, other literature or just other kinds of, I would say, not fairy tales, but kind of things that hint at the show's, I would say, over-dramatized, like, borderline fantasy elements.
Right, the idea of the monster that is, that
all of humanity or whatever.
Right, well, and how when people talk about the monster, they'll talk about, like, it's the devil, it's pure evil, it's, fill in the blank.
Yeah. The book kind of personifies that, or not it personifies that, the book kind of puts a label on that that is of a fictional nature, and it's kind of nice because then we can look at this book as maybe Johann's reference manual for how he ends up deciding kind of a lot of things, or maybe where he got a lot of his identity from.
Oh, here's another interesting way to think about it.
What's that?
Monster split. Now that could represent Johann and Anna, right?
Or the multiple personalities.
But Johann and Anna were sent to different orphanages.
Oh, yeah.
So, East and West, that could be the other representation there, and the idea that the other monster was okay with being a monster with no name, And then the other monster came back after having consumed a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Right? And then consumed her,
Whoa.
I mean, and that could be why they flashed back to the whole part of how she was at the hospital, just, kill him, Koroshite, because she at that point had been hollowed out, essentially, by Johann.
Yeah. Because there was the whole talk, and maybe this kind of foreshadows it a bit, but there's the whole talk with the person who was at the orphanage that Anna stayed at.
Yep.
And they were like, well, anyone who dealt with that kind of, stuff can be loved out of it, basically. They can end up basically, having the human connection that ends up helping them.
Yep.
What might be being hinted at here is that Anna came from the same place that Johann was originally, back in Czechoslovakia or whatever that was going on over there. Maybe she was made to be like Johann as well. And she's just had enough human goodness thrown in her way that it's been suppressed, but it's still there. And maybe when her and Johann reconnect and stuff, that will be maybe her, reawakening, so to speak.
Sure. I mean, she didn't end up going to Kinderheim, but the idea was that when Johann went to Kinderheim, he was already a bit
messed up.
Yeah.
So I think if there was any kind of meddling that happened, Kinderheim was just the perfect festering ground for it to emerge.
For the look and see how big the monster has grown.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you realize the Kinderheim incident is exactly what this library is basically turned into.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's just on a larger scale.
Right. Or with, more important people kind of a thing. Yeah. And the whole idea that in this case, Johann will also just be, looking on,
smiling
as they all kind of kill each other, because here they are killing each other. Like the fact, not directly, and we don't know exactly how he caused them to kill each other. So, like in my mind, I think like they all get machetes and start like whacking each other to pieces. But that might not have been what it actually was.
No.
It was just rather the end result was that they were killing each other, and maybe that's why he was looking on and smiling from on high, because they didn't realize, the Ents did not realize how they were all killing each other, just like they don't realize right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think we're going to end up having some kind of reveal that there's like some kind of underground way that Johann's basically getting out of this, and he's basically set that whole thing up with maybe some specific people that are also going to die as well,
right?
But I am just floored right now with how well this part of Johann's plan is going, and the fact that it was pretty obvious Roberto was going to stop Tenma. We still had that moment where Johann turned and looked directly into Tenma's eyes.
Yep.
And the fear was too great. Like I think...
and see, and that's one of those things. That's why. Like I loved Roberto's line of "Let me show you how to really use one of these things." Because Tenma basically defeated the entire purpose of having a sniper rifle. He did not need a sniper rifle to shoot Johann from that distance. Like he could use just any kind of rifle.
Yes, but let's also be realistic here, Jacob. People are not that good of shots, just in general. And also, that sniper rifle slug going at that speed would have guaranteed a kill in one shot.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that you try and shoot him from a place where they could actually figure out where you are.
Oh yeah,
like where in order to have you be able to make a shot on them, they know you're in the building, within some distance.
Right, but that was also Johann's plan, probably.
Sure, as opposed to Tenma like shooting him while he's on his way into the building or something like that. But then, of course, he probably would have hesitated and missed his opportunity. So yeah. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's something where I'm glad that it was Johann, though, that shut down him building up to being able to shoot him.
Right.
Because he needed to think back of, like, I have to shoot him, I have to shoot him, I have to shoot him. And we know that it was Johann that stopped him, because when Roberto, someone who was threatening his life, that was what made him able to shoot, I believe. Because, let's be real, Roberto didn't shoot. Like, Roberto's dead. Like,
Roberto's dead.
And that's also a part of it, is that Johann probably now knows that Tenma will be more willing to shoot now because he has killed Roberto.
Exactly, that's part of his whole corruption thing. And the fact that he got Tenma because he knew Tenma would hesitate, right? And he specifically told Roberto, make him watch, but don't knock him out. Knock him out so that he can't fight back, but make him watch. But you need to knock him out to subdue him, really.
Well,
so, there's...
I think Roberto is a little bit more autonomous than that. He doesn't give as much direct orders with him. He might have given him some, like, make him watch or something. But I think the fact that he didn't tell him about the fire means he basically gave him the, hey, there's someone that's going to be trying to shoot me. You need to go and stop them. It's Tenma, by the way. But once you've stopped him,
shoot Whelp and make him watch.
And make him watch. And he didn't even have to say the make him watch thing, because I think Roberto has a little bit of the Johann DNA in him, where he likes to inspire fear. He likes
that's probably one of the reasons why he sticks around with Johann, is because he likes that aspect.
He's like a puppy dog being like, Master, you're so amazing, and like, please notice me. And
Now they brought up the idea that a lot of other players are going to be involved here that are not there yet.
Which means this is like a part 1 of part 2 or 3.
Or more. Who knows how many parts they're going to do. Because then there's also the whole thing with Carl and, whatever.
Reichwein.
So, Reichwein's also on the way. So that's a way that they could potentially get some people out of there. Because they could, bust down fire extinguishers, whatever.
I mean, this building is going to go up in flames really quickly because it's a bunch of books.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the most terrifying things about libraries, is that, if it ever caught on fire, you need a proper system in place here. And this is probably something that Johann is specifically, he's turned off the sprinklers or whatever. He's taken out the fire extinguishers.
One of the things, though, I think that would actually be kind of surprising is I don't think libraries would go up in flames that quickly because the books are all closed, so the amount of airflow to the flammable bits is actually very little, so it'd just be burning on the edges. So, well,
the fire got a lot of help.
Oh yeah,
it was in 3 different places.
And it had kerosene or whatever that was, you know.
It had some stimulants in there to get it woof and going.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But ultimately, this is a kind of a regular kind of wooden, maybe sheetrock
right. Yeah, and that's probably the really big issue is that now the building itself will be on fire and bad stuff happens.
Right.
But if if the people inside are mostly able to be saved, then how exactly will this go down? Because this seems like the kind of thing where Johann is supposed to win here, right? But at the same time, how much is he really supposed to win?
Because we still don't know exactly what his goal is here.
Right.
Because he is enjoying it right now. Mm-hmm. But we don't see him like, all right, execute plan, beta, whatever. Right. And he just starts like doing a whole bunch of stuff. No, he's just sitting there and watching. So I think that everything is going according to plan right now. But maybe Johann did change his mind. Maybe the book, that whole thing did make him, alter course and stuff.
Right.
He could have just lied to Roberto and said, you're gonna shoot Schuald, and that will instigate this. Well, actually, no, I've always planned on burning the building. That's why there was the prophecy a long time ago about how this library is going to burn down at some point anyway.
Right. Yeah. But do you think Johann wanted Tenma to kill Roberto?
Oh, I don't think he really cares about Roberto.
Right. So
I think
if he doesn't care about Roberto, do you think he'd want to get rid of Roberto here because he doesn't like people to know who he is, kind of a thing?
Well, I don't think Roberto had orders to kill Tenma. I think that's one thing that he did say was not that you need to watch, was that he said, Roberto, I need you to stop Tenma, but don't kill him.
Right, and then kill Schuald. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if anything,
that leaves the opportunity for Tenma to potentially kill Roberto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gives there to be more likelihood that Tenma survives this than Roberto does.
Right.
And I do think that is something that Johann probably did specify in his orders was don't kill Tenma. Mm-hmm. And doing that, I think then leads towards the conclusion that he
okay, here's the other thing. The fact that Johann gave the signal and stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not exactly something where if people survived this, they'd be able to say, Johann was behind it because of some signal or whatever.
Right.
I mean, they could try and spread the story and say no, this was it. We were trying to stop him, blah, blah, blah. And you saw him give some signal right before everything went into flames. Of course, there was a delay, but if the people survived, then that seems like Johann would be in trouble.
Unless they find evidence that Johann died.
Sure.
My whole thing is that the main reason I think that this is the perfect way for Johann to basically disappear is that he's doing all this basically to fake his own death.
Okay, yeah, and I would say we can pretty much know that because he was talking to the kids, right? Mm-hmm. And he doesn't like people to know who he is.
Yep.
So he was talking to the kids. It's essentially propagating his species, right? Telling them he's going to die soon. Mm-hmm. That way, they will think he did die, but they'll still be holding him up in their minds as this, sick hero or whatever. And that, he even knew he was going to die and he wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
So that way they can then continue doing what he taught them, right?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he can go somewhere else and keep doing his thing.
Right. He will become no one, basically.
Right.
And it'll be then a thing of Johann's dead, Tenma. What are you?
Right.
What are you freaking out about?
But
no, he's still out there. I know it. But it'll drive him more into madness.
And the thing is, if they're able to save the people, though, right? The people that are supposed to burn to death as they're fighting each other to get out of the building. You would think that it would be a lot harder for Johann to fake his own death. Because if most everybody survived, right, then it's a lot easier to say, okay, did we find a body, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I think he's I think he's probably going to like. I'm really hard on this theory. Like I really think it's going to be the case. But I think if he wanted to, he could find some way to plant like dental stuff and a body, and all kinds of other stuff.
And one of the big things about Johann that we've seen is that while he is incredibly smart, he is also able to adapt to changing situations.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's not that he knows every variable and he knows exactly how it's going to go down, but if something unexpected happens, he's like, okay, cool, I got a plan for that, you know.
I think the other thing that we do know is that he's not interested in Shuold. So that's why he's not really concerned about Shuold dying in as much as he is basically like, look, this is what fear smells like. Can you like...
Oh, yeah. All the conversations between Johann and Shuold were just fantastic. Like, as they're talking, as, you know, they're...
Shuold figured it out, too.
Oh, yeah. And they were openly talking about it, you know. Like, I thought that was great. But then, of course, that makes you wonder, well, what is going to happen? Now Shuold has to die even more. Even if it's not the plan, Shuold can't survive.
Well, he's also not going to be saved here. Because the one person who was basically watching out for him, besides, I'm assuming, some bodyguards that are outside, conveniently, is Johann. Because Carl's out of here. So basically all these people that maybe should have saved Shuold, they're all scrambling to save themselves. Oh, maybe this is also a statement about humanity that Johann's making.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But like, it's not just for the world as an audience, it's also for him. Like, he's like testing.
For Shuold or for Johann?
For Johann. Like, he's basically looking and he's trying to prove something to himself about, this is what fear looks like at this level.
Just all it takes is one bad day, you know, kind of a thing. Yeah. Yeah. What are you trying to prove? That deep down everyone's what's Batman's line in The Dark Knight to the Joker?
That deep down everyone's as crazy as you.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's
that.
what it was. Yeah.
You're alone.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's framing Shuold. Maybe Shuold will then be outed as the person that knew something was going to happen, and like Shuold must have regretted it at the last instant, and maybe Johann was in Shuold's stuff enough.
All the security was done through it was all Shuold security and things.
Johann might be found to be dead. So it's like, it couldn't have been him. This was
just another move of the vampire of Bayern to basically cause chaos, which will allow him to basically thrive off of the economic downfall of
I have no idea.
Countries.
Yeah. All I know is that this is going so crazily, just like smoothly, and Johann
the weird thing.
Doesn't seem to be phased at all by anything. Yeah. And Shuold is also just like just freaking out. Oh wait, did I say Shuold twice just now? No, I said Johann.
I think you said Johann.
Okay, yeah.
I think you've done that before, but that wasn't.
Okay.
But it's weird because this is like there's crazy stuff going down, but like you said, it's going down so smoothly. I almost can't get worried or antsy about it. It's just I'm just curious to see what happens. Yeah, you know.
My antsiness really carries over from the children's book stuff.
Yeah,
like can we go back to that now? Like, so with the book, with the book specifically, the way they had Anna/Nina Fortner reading it was absolutely chilling, just terrifying.
Yeah, and what they did with like the frame rate, so it's like you're like turning pages and stuff, even though you're not. That was
There were some really cool presentation things there, but I'm gonna be studying that section of this episode. I'm going to literally like disassemble it and break it down with context based upon the previous stuff of the show, because I feel like we just got given again almost everything we need, like everything at all, and the book is basically just like, we're going to foreshadow everything, and you won't know that we're doing it until we've done it.
That actually,
and then you'll be like, we're geniuses.
That actually makes me really curious what they're going to do for the ending moving forward in the show, because they've had it go through different like iterations, even though it stuck to the same basic idea, of showing the story, the book. But are they going to keep doing that and just keep going through this different aspects of the story, because then it would basically take on new meaning, because it wouldn't have the mystery aspect. It would rather be seeing, yes, this is that part from the storybook, and then trying to draw connections to what's happening in the show at that moment in time. But they wouldn't. But basically, that dynamic that the ending had would kind of be lost now. So I'm wondering if they're going to change up how they do the endings, like whether they'll, like, because I don't know.
If we think about this whole thing as being a progression of what Johann's goal is,
whatever that is,
well, it could be just to be fine with being no one. It's that he has wanted a name for so long, but up until recently, he was able up until recently, he has always wanted a name, maybe. And that's why he was, going with important families or something like that. He was jumping from family to family. Do you remember that, right?
That's true.
That's part of the storybook, kind of.
But he also makes it so that no one remembers him.
Right. So it seems like maybe when he was younger, or when he was a boy, this is now just the picture of his origin.
Sure.
You could say that it's more relevant to recent things, but I think you could also say that the book...
This is just how he started. Yeah.
And everything post-book is what we're experiencing as the show.
Yeah. Although the whole thing of going into the castle and all that stuff, that had some really strong parallels to the whole thing with Shuold.
Yep.
So
maybe he's just using it, like I said, as a template. It's a reference sheet.
Well, what does he do in that story? He consumes the son of the king. And then he devours the king and all the king's attendants and people. So this could be devouring the king and all the attendants and people. He was originally kind of going to devour the son because he was going to become the son, right?
Okay, so then
but now that Carl actually exists, well, Carl's probably not long for this world.
Right, so maybe the story was something he was subconsciously going as his general template for the plan. Then he saw the book and remembered that was it, and he realized, I have to change my plan. So then he throws away the whole idea of becoming Shuold, or becoming Carl, or becoming the heir of this empire or whatever, and he's like, I don't care about that anymore, because I don't care about a name. So I'm going to become no one, and I'm going to burn away everything that I ever existed. Basically, this also calls back maybe the potential thing of the split personality thing, where he could be... I don't know if this is even being hinted at here, but he could be not necessarily split personality, but he's split in terms of what his goal is. He can't rectify that he both wants a name and he both wants to disappear.
Well, because here's one of the things to think about: the whole idea of a name, right? It could be talking about the name specifically, but we've had it mentioned in Monster many times that names don't mean anything.
Yeah,
right. That could be talking about the whole idea of Johann taking on new names, and because of that, the names don't mean anything. Or it could be talking about how the name itself isn't what's important.
Yes.
And that the name actually is a representation of the identity, which totally fits in with the idea of Johann finding this book and it helping solidify who he is and who he's going to choose to be and all that stuff. But when it talked about the, searching around for a good name, and he finally found a good name, and it mentioned all the occupations and things that the people did, the blacksmith, there was the hunter, and, and all that stuff, and we went through all those people. But when he found the name that he liked, a good name, that was the prince. That was the person in the palace. That was the person who basically was the heir to everything.
Yep.
And if that's what his original plan was, then that's sort of in line with the storybook. But then the thing that he could have basically been reminded of from the storybook is the fact that after, basically taking it all over and devouring everything, he's left with nothing.
Yep.
He's left with a name, but no one there to call him by the new name.
Whoa,
right?
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. That would be kind of pointless, and money doesn't really mean much. Money's it's just money. It's nothing. So then he's like, all right, I'm going to change things up.
And now we're in that stage where he's changed things up, and we just have to kind of follow in the wake of his driving his wedge through the story.
Now, one of the things that I think would just be crazy is if he succeeded in basically having everyone here die, but he somehow survived,
and he pretends to have died.
Maybe he pretends to have died or whatever, but if he basically came back to Carl to wrap things up, however, I don't know how he would do that. Because Carl, I feel like he needs to go away because he knows about Johann. So, and if I guess if he fakes his death, he doesn't have to, but I have this picture in my mind of either Johan killing Carl or Johan getting Lot to kill Carl.
I feel like we've seeded potentially more so that Carl will be his own undoing if this goes into play here.
Okay.
We have enough madness out there, enough scared people that I think Johan might have parameters set in place to where Carl and Lot are the source of their own undoing.
Yeah, possibly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could even have Roberto kill Carl and Lot and make it look like a murder-suicide. Oh yeah, Roberto's dead at this point. Well, he might not be dead. He could be wounded, but yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he's probably.
He does have a big dick, so like, who knows what he's capable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a segue into Tenma shifting from admiring all this. Sorry, did I say Tenma? Well, I've been doing this a lot. Johan shifting from admiring this to executing his getaway plan.
It's okay, names don't mean anything.
That's true. Yeah. But then Tenma's going to try and save as many people as possible.
Right. While Lung and Nina and, Reichwein and all of them are en route.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Lung, of course, is going to be there and like, this thing that Tenma did.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Guys,
okay.
It's crazy. It's all going down, but this is part one. So,
yeah, of how many? We don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, guys, if you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, where you can chat with us about stories or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.